Hey guys, what's up? This is Vltem. Pellet reached out and asked if I would talk about the Psychic Gym Leader Challenge deck that I've been playing for the past probably a couple months or so. But first things first, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I want to shout out Gwibs and Z-Man Cuddles. This is kind of a mix or fusion of their style lists. I like them both, and I couldn't decide on which one I wanted to play. So I basically took their lists, mashed them together, and kind of added some things that I enjoy. Attempt to make it my own, which is honestly, I think, part of the fun in Gym Leader Challenge. In all the games you play, there's only one of each gym leader. So take that as you will. Here is the list that I've come up with for a mix of a Monkey Dory and Iron Boulder Psychic list. So for the Mons, of course, we got the two mainstays of the deck. We've got the Iron Boulder and the Monkey Dory. Two really good cards. I think Monkey Dory, just as Z-Man Cuddles pointed out in his video, is probably one of the best Psychic Pokemon to come out for GLC in I couldn't tell you how long. But also Gwibs is certainly onto something with the Iron Boulder being one of the better attackers in the format. Being able to hit 170 for one is pretty crazy. I think that the ability for the Monkey to push 30 and then the Iron Boulder to hit numbers like 200 plus is really nuts. So like I said, I couldn't decide. So we're playing that. You're playing Psychic. Obviously, you have to be playing Distortion Door Giratina. One of the best ways to keep a influx of damage counters on your side of the board flowing so that you can push them over to your opponent's side. Not only to fix math, but I think also really good at being able to set up multi-turn or multi-prize turns throughout the game. So we got that guy. Also playing Latios as attacker. This one is the one from Paradox Rift. 180 is pretty good. I think it's great with a either a monkey movement or a band, obviously combined with Hex to be able to take out stuff like whales. Without the Hex, you can use that to hit break points against things like Snorlax, as long as they don't have some sort of HP boosting tool. Pretty good. Honestly, I've been kind of down on this guy, but more testing to come. No Psychic deck is complete without Mimikyu. Copycat's really good. Another way to combat whales and other high damage output attacks. Probably one of the best Revengers. If you're playing Psychic, you're probably playing that guy. We're playing the Mew, the Mysterious Tail Mew, one of the best support mon / pivots I think Psychic has to offer, especially when combined with cards like, I've got one somewhere here, with U-turn board. So by being able to put things like U-turn board on the Mew, reduces retreat cost to 0, be able to push it up every time your opponent takes a KO, check top 6, retreat out. It's really great. I don't know if you guys are playing Smoochum, but I'm playing Smoochum. I think Smoochum turn 1 going second to be able to get 2 energy straight away on something like a Giratina or even Latios here is really great. Gearing up for either if they take the KO, great. If not, free retreat out and then take a revenge KO with Latios or the Tina. The other 2 support lines we're playing, that's it for the basics. So we're also playing a Malamar and Inkay. Again, more staples in the Psychic Gym Leader Challenge format. Being able to accelerate Psychic from the yard is great, especially with the Giratina. There are so many games that come down to really only needing this guy to be able to, they take a KO, you Distortion Door it back, you Psychic Recharge with Malamar, and then with the next support mon, you've got the Xatu line. You can Clairvoyant Sense for the second energy and then attach for turn. You're good to go. If you have Dementia Valley in play, you don't even need the energy from hand or the attach for turn, which is great. And then obviously if you know Psychic, The last line we're playing is the Gallade line. I am currently on the memory skip ralts. I'm playing the memory skip ralts because I think that there are times where it can buy you a turn or two. Granted, if you are having to attack with the ralts, something's gone horribly wrong, but being able to tell the Wales player that they can't use special wave is pretty good. Next up is the supporters. So since we are playing Boulder, we are playing some cards that will help us attempt, maybe not always, but attempt to match our opponent's hand size. And we're playing things like we are playing Marnie, which granted will get you close. Hopefully you don't break out and somehow draw 5 unplayable cards, but you know. And Judge. I was on Copycat for a long time, and quite frankly, the only reason I'm not on Copycat now is a card that I like more in Acerola, but we will get to that in a minute. So these 3 cards, as well as a number of other cards in the deck, can help manipulate the hand size to attempt to get off a quick Iron Boulder attack, which is also currently why I'm on Tate and Eliza, to be able to get the hand size down. And then coupled with the number of items that we play, it's pretty easy to play down from there. We are also, let's see, we're playing Clara as one of our recovery pieces. I'm playing Clara over Tulip. I know a lot of the other guys are playing Tulip, slightly better in some regards. I find personally that the ability to get back the basic darks, which we do play because of Monkey Dory in the deck, is way better for me. And you know, your testing will show what you like better, but I like it better to get the basic darks back. Let's see. More recovery options. We are also on Lusamine. While this deck is not as Dimension Valley dependent as some other Psychic decks, it is really nice to get back Dimension Valley when you need it, or also be able to reuse certain supporters. Certain supporters, especially ones like Hex Maniac throughout the game, can be integral in kind of kneecapping your opponent in turns where you really want to push for value. On top of that, it can help fight off cards like the special Wailord. So the damage reduction on that card, as well as some other cards in other gyms, is good to shut off, especially when going for, let's say, Monkey plus Iron Boulder, or Latios plus Muscle Band is another way that you can get those KOs on that card. So definitely, I think, really integral to the deck. Since we are on Monkey, we're also playing Crispin. We're playing 2 types of basic energy, and I think that Crispin has been pretty sick so far. I think the ability to ramp up your energies is great. I think the ability to power up a Monkey while also retaining your energy attachment for turn is also really good. Or just speeding up to another one of your attackers. Being able to set up an Iron Boulder and a single supporter sometimes can be just enough to take that prize that you need. We are also on Arven. We're not super high on tools, but we are high enough to where I think Arven is warranted. We are also on things like Battle VIP Pass and stuff in the deck, so having another out to that to be able to VIP Pass on your first turn is great. Let's see, just like most decks in the format, we're also on Raihan, being able to set up Revenge KOs. They take a KO on a Giratina, Distortion Door it back, spread some damage, play a Raihan, activate a Malamar, you know, and you're on your way to punching for another 130. We are also on Guzma. Most decks are. We aren't playing any other boss or gust effects, but I think Guzma is really great as not only a switch option to help get attackers in or slow attackers out, like Iron Boulder sometimes can get stuck, or Latios if you have discarded all of the energy and you need it back on the bench to be able to power back up with your other effects, is great. And I think this is probably one of the best arts in the game. Second only to this Acerola here. Shouts out to my wife for hooking me up with this. This has been a grail card for me, and ever since I got it, I've been trying my best to squeeze it into all of my GLC decks. So while this card is probably not seen in a lot of other Psychic decks, I think it does add some spice to the list and some cool plays that you can do. For instance, the other day I was playing with my buddy Anderson. Shout out to him for all the fun GLC games and all that. One of our local players here in Charlotte NC was able to activate a Monkey Dory after attacking with Giratina, putting 4 on it specifically, which is great because you can move the full 3, thus retaining 1 damage counter on the monkey, which is required for the ace roller to pick it up. You can replay the monkey, attach for turn with the darkness energy, and then move 3 damage from somewhere else, making it really, really easy to set up 2 prize turns. I was able to, in our last session, get 2 prize turns back to back on some stranded basics and stuff, some other bench sitters. Really great card. Granted, obviously, if you are not as enamored with this cool Acerola art as I am, by all means, Avery is really great. Let's see. Yeah, Avery's really good. Colress's Tenacity would probably be another good inclusion, but I'm a fan of this one. And that's all the supporters we play. As far as items go, so we're moving on to the items. We've got some recovery cards in Nightly Stretcher, Rescue Stretcher, VS Seeker. So these are the main 3 recovery cards that I am playing. You'll notice that there is no Super Rod in the deck. So there's no Super Rod in the deck. I haven't really wanted for it. I think that a lot of times you want to be using these to recycle your attackers. And obviously VS Seeker is just a staple in the GLC format. But mostly we're using the stretchers here to recycle attackers that are not Giratina, thus they can't recycle themselves. Then on to, let's see, the search cards. One of the cool things about the Psychic Gym is it has at its disposal a lot of other Psychic search cards on top of obviously all the other ball cards you get. So you get Mysterious Treasure as well as Fog Crystal. So these are great, specific to, well, this is Psychic and this is Psychic Dragon. So great, we're running Quick Ball, Level Ball, Buddy Buddy Puffin, Ultra Ball. We are playing Nest Ball, Evo Soda, and Battle VIP Pass. All pretty standard stuff. I know some people are not a super huge fan of the Battle VIP Pass, but I think with the mix of the Mysterious Tail Mew, Arven, and a few other cards here, it isn't really that big of a deal to try and see it turn 1. Worst case, if you do not see it turn 1, you can discard it to Refinement, Curlia, Ultra Ball, any of the discard searches like Mysterious Treasure, Ultra Ball, Quick Ball. We got plenty of ways to get rid of it. We are also playing Hisuian Heavy Ball. Most GLC decks are. I can't think of any reason not to play this card. I'm on Earthen Vessel. I know a lot of lists, most lists are playing the Professor's Letter. That's it. Yeah, the Professor's Letter. The reason I'm not on Professor's Letter is a few reasons. One of them, if you can't tell from the cards you've seen so far, I have a proclivity for gold cards. Now, I will not say that this card is better than Professor's Letter. I will say that it looks better. I will say that it does have a slight upside to it in that you can discard a card to the Earthen Vessel, which can help sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes fix Iron Boulder hand math. Being able to match your opponent's hand size, the ability to discard, I think, far outweighs the fact that it is a worse top deck. I think that if at any time you're top decking in GLC, you're probably already off to a pretty rough start. We are also playing Pokegear 3.0, just giving us also another out to Arven, as well as any of our other supporters that we need to try and dig for. And let's see, we're also playing Battle Compressor. Battle Compressor is great by either dumping dead cards. You can use it to set up supporters in your discard pile to get back with VS Seeker. There's been a couple games where, while definitely not an optimal play, the ability to send Pokemon to the discard pile and immediately pick them up with a stretcher can be crucial from time to time. Very rare though, but you know, the more lines you have to your disposal, the better. We are also on Red Card. Red Card is, I think, pretty cool. I think it's as close as we're going to get to Marshadow, now that Marshadow is banned from Psychic in the format. You can snatch it off of an Arven, you can get it off of a Mew, and it also only affects your opponent. So while you are not resetting your own hand, being able to put your opponent to a low hand size earlier in the game can be crippling at times, as well as being able to take really high hand sizes down so that you have a better odds of matching them with Boulder. And then we're just playing Escape Rope, Field Blower. I think two cards that are pretty staple. I know Z-Man mentioned that this was always like his 61st card, which just goes to show how good the card is. Let's see, this is the last two tools. We've also got our last three tools. We've got Muscle Band, pretty self-explanatory, helps fix math. The U-turn board we talked about earlier helps get stuff in and out of the active, especially good with Mew, especially with a lot of Field Blower running around. This card being able to be reused over and over again. One can help with hand size. Very niche, incredibly niche. I definitely wouldn't try for that, but it is something that it can do. And also, I'm on Luxurious Cape. I know some lists will play some sort of HP boosting tools. I'm playing this one. One, because it helps get a lot of things out of one-shot range from Snorlax. Doesn't necessarily do a whole lot against whales, but it also gives cards a little bit more staying power. That would normally get one shot now have to be two shot, coupled with the Acerola, can also help deny prizes and keep pressure up on our opponent. Last two of the trainers, we're running two stadiums, we're running D Valley and Parallel City. I was on Lost City, but I cut it for Parallel City recently to test. Parallel City has been pretty good. I think both of these are great. D Valley is awesome, obviously reducing the attack cost by one colorless for any of your Psychic Mons. Makes it much easier to retaliate with a Giratina, for instance, with the D Valley in play. You can Distortion Door the Giratina and then activate one of either of these effects, if not both, if you don't have an attach for turn, to get the Tina up and running and get it into the active and start taking some more prizes. Now towards the very end, we're on to energies. We do play, let's see, we do play 10 in the deck. As far as basic energies go, we are playing 6 Psychic Energy. We are playing 2 Darkness Energy, and that's it for the basics. We are playing 1 Mystery Energy, which is great. Gives things -2 retreat while also providing a Psychic Energy. Helps with a lot of the cards have 2 or less retreat, so it can be used as an impromptu float stone if need be. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but you know, strictly in my opinion, better than another basic Psychic. And the last is a Counter Energy. So yeah, that is the 60 that I'm on right now. I've been on this 60 give or take for the last couple of months, running it at our locals at Dark Raven and Shalot. Shout out to those guys. Josh and April are great peeps. Feel free to stop by and check them out. Shout out to Jay and Anderson, all the locals down there. Shout out to my wonderful wife for my super cool Grail card. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And again, thanks to Pellet and everybody over at Team Moomoo for asking me to post the list, test it out, sleeve it up, Tell me what you think. Thanks, y'all. Bye.